Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Woo, woo, yes, indeed. We are the men to be and the place to be. Give you the sideline junkies. All good from Friday Eve. This is what we do on this day, baby. Let's talk about a little something. Tomorrow, people going to show up at work. Now, when they show up at work, they're going to notice there's a thing. They placard up this little sign, and it said that, I think her name was Gertrude from last week, and her casserole that stunk up the thing, it's got a wanted poster, and it says she can't use the microwave no more. All right, so she's been suspended from the microwave for trying to bring in that old casserole and warm it up, knowing it's going to stink. Now, also in that same area, there's a Keurig, there's a water cooler, there's people putting stuff in the refrigerator. There's Tim from accounting. There's Nancy from HR. And now Nancy from HR, she's normally quiet, but she's in the back of the room and she's listening to everybody murmur. And it's like a murmur. You can hear it building up because everybody's talking about the podcast they watched the night before. And all of a sudden, Nancy just stepped up. She cleared her throat. She took her hand and put it beside her face like she was doing the Mr. Kennedy. And she said, last night, I watched the Thursday night Throwdown. Yeah, baby. Brought to you by the Sideline Junkies. I'm the Midnight Rider. He's the big guy, KG. This is what we do. It's Thursday. And you know what? I'm not even going into the banter. I'm going to let you go ahead and just take it from there. You take it over since you're the host.
Well, welcome to Friday Eve. I hope your Monday through Friday Eve has been great because tomorrow's going to be even greater. Thank you, Midnight Rider, for that rousing introduction, as usual. I had to get a counter ready because we forgot something. I want to say it was last Sunday. So it's not going to be on the screen, but it's going to be said an awful lot. So the secret word of the day is Jive Time Turkey. It's going to be somebody going to be called one or several today. So if you hear the secret word of the day, make sure to put your hands where my eyes can see in the comments. First and foremost, most importantly, Midnight Rider, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good, man. Had a little situation earlier today, but I'm feeling good, man. Feeling better now.
Man, I've been on this daggone this kick where I'm just pulling out old music. I'm talking about, it's like a certain box that I've been in. I've been in my 97 and 99 box.
Oh, and welcome to the club, dog.
Man, first song this morning. First song you get in the truck this morning, start the truck up. Got to get it started. I'm like, damn, we starting with Cisco already? Fuck it, let's go to the thong song. Right. And let's go. And it's been rolling ever since. I listened to Cisco's whole second album today. That album is platinum. And the only reason why it's platinum is because of me, my wife, and his mama. That's it.
I was about to say, because you said the second, I was like, all right, I'll give you the first.
The second was a banger. Most people didn't dig it, but I dug it.
I gotta readjust and check the first one out. But I don't know about that one, bruh. The second one. I don't know about that one, bruh. What have I been listening to? So I get in the car. Oh, Drew Hill. What are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I don't know how much before the show I was rocking some Donnell Jones. There's this video on YouTube that I love it's Joe in like this little nightclub where he's playing the guitar, singing his song, and like his sister comes up and sings with him. What else have I been listening to 90s style? Oh, 112, Player, Cupid, Jodeci. I mean, if you sing the song and you ain't over there making the ugly face, then the lyrics don't mean nothing to you. You ain't talking to your soul. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make an ugly face and like, gotta feel it. Make you think you can sing. Knowing you can't.
Knowing you can't. All right, well, that's our music corner for the show. Now we're gonna get off in this thing. We got to start with a little sad news.
I forgot.
R.I.P. Ted Turner. Now, those of you that are not aquatic enough not old enough, Ted Turner is the reason for CNN, TBS, TNT, Cartoon Network. He's the reason for the rise of WCW. Man, he's the reason for your cable news channels, period. If you've ever ate at, I think it's not Ted's Bulletin, but it's the restaurant Ted's. It might be Ted's Bulletin. That's Ted Turner.
You think about Ted's Montana.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's Ted Turner own. He is responsible for so many things. A giant in media, a mogul, if you will. He bought the Braves in 1976. We always talk about it here. TBS time. And what is TBS time, Midnight Rider?
That's when we got started on the fives, baby. 8:05, 9:05. What's my favorite one? Braves baseball be followed by NWA wrestling.
When I tell you, we use a lot of Ted Turner jargon here. You wouldn't have the NBA on TNT if it wasn't for Ted Turner creating Turner. What is it? Turner Network TV. Yeah. Is that what it stands for? I think so.
Yes, I'm gonna go with it.
We'll take it with that.
Yeah, say it with your chest. We good.
TBS, Turner Broadcasting Station. I do know that. And then also, hold on, wait. He was the reason that we were able to watch so many classic and cult favorites on the Turner Movie Channel, TMC, because he bought the rights to a film studio and got their whole entire vault. So we got to see a lot of action movies, a lot of cult classics and things like that because of Ted Turner. Now, I know on Saturday, we're doing a react to Backlash. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. If it wasn't for Ted Turner buying Jim Crockett Promotions and taking that from NWA and turning it into WCW and putting them to the height that they were at and made Vince McMahon step his game up, we wouldn't have never had the Monday Night Wars. We would have never had the Attitude Era. And in my honest opinion, the Attitude Era and possibly the Ruthless Aggression Era are the two eras of wrestling that we got the best, because you got WCW versus WWF, and then in the Ruthless Aggression era, you had the return of NWA, but you had more New Japan on American TV. You had more indies on TV like Ring of Honor. We got TNA, which is a part of NWA. So we got all this talent on TV at one time. Those eras are unmatched. And that's because Ted Turner said, I don't care how much it costs. Pay whatever got to pay so we can win. That's it. I've talked enough. Midnight Rider.
What you said? Nah. Yeah, I mean, that's the nutshell though. I mean, you covered the whole thing over everything. I just think he was one of those people that he saw opportunity and he seized it. He had the foresight to think about a cable news network, and now that news network is one of the biggest networks. You know what I'm saying? It's inspired other news ventures. Like I think if you look at what he started and the tentacles that come from what he started, and people ask you about your legacy. I don't know, when Ted Turner looks back and talks about his legacy, or they talk about the legacy of Ted Turner, it's going to be very expansive and cover many grounds, and it's going to have a bountiful harvest that comes from the seeds that he planted during his lifetime. So I'm in the day because we could go on forever on Ted Turner, and I don't even want to do that because we got a lot of stuff we want to hit. So I'm gonna try to keep us on.
The boss BJ said you could only get this from our resident historian. I mean, this is no notes. This is just off the top of my head because I know the impact. You know the impact of somebody, and I'll say this, and I think Midnight Ride, I think you'll agree. I think everybody listening and watching will agree. Ted Turner was a part of all of our childhoods.
Yeah,
and I say that because either we all watched TBS, because I remember watching NWA on TBS, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. That's when they had that gray background. That's when you had the Ricky Morton rubbing his face on the on the bathroom floor. You had the time when the Horseman tied Dusty to the truck and broke his arm. What else was iconic from that? Oh, when the Midnight Ride, when the James brothers came out to fight the Midnight Express. You actually had the Midnight Rider come out. What else? It's a bunch of stuff, man. Man, those are iconic. And the famous thing used to be the TV title with a 10-minute time limit. And it's always as the show is going off and it fades to black and you don't know who won. Only stuff you could do back then because you didn't have the internet.
Right. And that right there, and then those of us that were able to grow up with Cartoon Network. Now, Cartoon Network was a big thing in my teenage years, but even to this day, every day of my life, I watch Cartoon Network. My children watch Cartoon Network. My grandkids watch Cartoon Network. Shout out to Craig of the Creek. I just,
yo, that's even ironic that this conversation is being had before we get to all our iconic sports shows because he's made a healthy contribution to that category alone.
Yes, indeed. So with that, so we don't, because we can go on and on. We can take the whole entire show slot and just go with this. But respectfully, we have to move on. Rest in peace to Ted Turner, man. Like, dude, you don't understand how many lives you touched that you didn't even know. So it came down today that the NCAA is expected to expand the March Madness, the NCAA tournament, to 76 teams from 68. Now I know Midnight Rider in our chat, he teased some thoughts. So I will throw it over to him and let him go first.
Well, what I've seen, and I'm a part of this group, so I'm gonna say it this way: I'm probably gonna do the biggest fence straddle in the history of time because when we start this thought process of them going to 76 teams, personally, I hate it. I think it's the dumbest thing you could do because it takes the tournament. Because now, when it comes to the bracket isn't natural. It's easy to plug in 4 teams. Now you got to plug in 12 teams and figure out if you're going to have them advance. And then it's for the Power 5 conferences. This isn't like, oh, let's get Loyola, Chicago, Illinois State in the tournament. No, this is, let me get that 11th team in the Big Ten. Let me get the 9th team in the SEC or the 12th team in the SEC. That's what this is about. And that's the part that I don't like. But wait, here's the swerve. I actually kind of like it because if I was in their position, I would do this. The NCAA doesn't really make money off of football. The NCAA tournament is their moneymaker. Well, you've already expanded that tournament to a certain extent. You can't make any more new money unless you do something different. Your crowd's at capacity. You're using all the biggest buildings. So how else can we make more money? Add more teams. Add more games. So on the NCAA side, I see where you're coming from. Because in the words of the great poet laureate, Mr. Deion Sanders, it must be the money. And that's what's driving them wild. It must be the money. Because it's turning me out. Must be the money. KG, all you.
Midnight Rider, I don't like this. I don't like this move at all. Because if we're looking at this, you're talking about 76 teams, so you're adding another 8 teams. So that means instead of the play-in of 4 teams, which I think is like one of the most egregious things because your play-in teams are either 7 or 11. They're never 16. They're never 15. They're 7 or 11.
No, it's 7, 11, and 16.
So, 7, 11, and 16. Okay, they all should be 16 seeds. They should be 15 and 16 seeds. No way in 4 hells you should be a 16 seed, but you're not in a play-in game.
Why not? You won it.
But hold on. I'm sorry. Switch that around. No way in 4 hells you should be a 7 or 11 seed in a play-in game, but a 16 seed doesn't have to be in a play-in game in certain instances. Now, 16, 9 times out of 10 is your sacrificial lamb. That's your, this year was Long Island. So it's a school it's their first thing. They only brought one change of clothes and they gone. Most of the time. 98% of the time. But now you're talking about adding 8 more teams. And you talk about the Power 5 conferences. So the Big Ten is I think the Big Ten is your biggest basketball conference. Like as far as notoriety and name, not as far as size. The SEC has got to be number 2. Then we can jump to the Big 12 and then the ACC, which is watered down. They even have the Big East as one of your Power 5. The Big East has not been a Power 5 conference since 2013 when they destroyed the Big East proper. And you kind of just threw teams in there. Okay. So what you're telling me is that if we add 8 more teams, so we're going to get a 16 and 16 Georgetown team that's going to make a play-in game, which they don't do. If they're 16 and 16, that's below the standard. You should not be in there. So what you're telling me is that you're going to put somebody from a Power 5 in there at a play-in game that's a 7, 11, or 16, but you're going to leave out a mid-major that's 31 and 0. You're going to leave out a mid-major that's won their conference and swept everybody, and they're 29 and 3. They're going to get left out and got to go to the NIT.
What you got to put the other caveat is they won their division conference, but didn't win the tournament. So that's why they're not an automatic bid, and they don't get a bid because you're expanding the thing. Think about this, KG. This is why this is a money grab, because if you get the Power 5 schools, most of those schools travel very well. So you're going to get a good field of people watching these games. But we're good on this one. Because we need more time. We need more time. Let's put a pin because we got a heavy lineup, and I want to get to the iconic sports shows sooner than later.
Okay. So with that being said, we'll put a pin in that because we're definitely going to revisit this.
Sunday. Hey, put it on Sunday morning.
Sunday. All right. Story time with MR.
I think we all have heard the opening of a great show that says, feel the joy of victory in the agony of defeat. And today, there was no better words to talk about my day than that. Got up this morning, got to work, and I'm just looking at guys because I did a home run bet on FanDuel. I had Brandon Lowe, Juan Soto, and Michael Bush. So I go and look to see who hit home runs the night before. I see Michael Bush. I see Brandon Lowe. I see Juan Soto. So immediately your boy goes where? To my account. Because you know what? I got to hear the cha-ching. The cha-ching. And then guess where we going, KG? We gonna sizzler. We gonna sizzler. So, with that being said, I hit the account. Boom. 0.00. What's going on here? You ain't gonna pay me my money? You're not gonna pay the man his money. Go look at the stat sheet. Michael Bush, the Chicago Cubs. They had a day-night doubleheader. Guess when the boy hit the home run? In the day game, not the night game. And at that point, I heard that little, what's that joint? Womp, womp, womp. And that was it, man. That's how my morning started. I went from thinking I think I had like 300 on it. I mean, I would have gotten 300 from it. And it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine.
What?
That's like getting punched in the stomach in the dark.
Bruh. I was like, because I kept looking at it, the box score, and then I realized that the box score on my screen said Chicago 7 and what were they, Cincinnati 6. And when I looked at the box score on my ESPN, it was 3-2. I'm like, what the hell? Then I realized when I looked at the time start, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Come on, man. So that's how the story goes.
Damn.
Talk about a bad beat, boy. Woo.
Sorry to hear that.
Hey, it's all good, man. Wasn't meant to be mine to begin with.
Well, damn, I'm fucked up for you. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Looking at NHL playoffs here. Monday, the Canes beat the Flyers 3-2. They're up 2-0 in that series. The Golden Knights beat the Ducks 3-1. They're up 1-0 in that series. Avalanche beat the Wild 5-2. Colorado's up 2-0 in that series. And the Sabres beat this is yesterday. Sabres beat the Canadiens 4-2. They're up 1-0. And the Ducks tied the series 1 apiece with a 3-1 win over the Golden Knights. Tonight we have the Hurricanes visiting the Flyers at 8 p.m. and then we don't have any more hockey until tomorrow at 7 and 9:30. And then Saturday, we got hockey all weekend, so that's good. Anything caught your eye in the last couple of days with the hockey playoffs?
Colorado is a dog. I watched them. It's not fair what they're doing to the Minnesota Wild. Like, that shouldn't even be allowed to be on TV. Like, they shouldn't broadcast that. You know, when they just say turn your head and don't look because, like, it's a gruesome. Like, this is woo. I don't never think I remember seeing a hockey team get dominated like this. Yeah, it's I feel sorry for the Wild. Well, what the Asian guy say to in Minnesota, I feel sorry for your mother. I feel sorry for Minnesota. Oh Lord. Yeah, man, that's really caught my eye so far. Colorado can scoring bunches, and it don't even look like they. Yeah.
All right. Keeping it with the playoffs. Playoffs? It's crazy. We all go the same way. Oh, man. Let's switch over to the NBA. Tuesday, the Pistons 111, the Cavaliers 101. The Thunder beat the Lakers. That was in progress during the Tuesday night flight. The Thunder won 108-90. Yesterday, the Knicks beat the 76ers 108-102. They took a 2-0 lead with that. The Spurs destroyed the Timberwolves 133-95. Tonight, just ending the first quarter, the Pistons are up 25-18 over the Cavaliers. And at 9:30, you got the Thunder versus Lakers, which is game 2. So, we got a couple of NBA things that we need to cover. So I see a couple things in here. Let's start right here. Mosley gets fired in Orlando.
I'll let you lead because this is the cross you want to bear for Mr. Mosley.
Ladies and gentlemen, the coach in Orlando, Young Buck, God, hold on, I got to pull up his stuff. But what I will say, I did not like this firing, not one bit. And I say that because this is a young team. And with this young team, you got to have a coach that's also young enough to really relate to these guys. I don't think that Mosley was given an opportunity to fail. Yes, they went out in the first round, but you got to understand, you got a young core. They have no veteran leadership. And when I say veteran, I'm talking about the guy that's got playoff experience and playoff minutes. I don't give a damn how many years you've been in the league. You got to have a guy that's on the floor that has playoff experience. I don't mean he sat the bench and won a championship. No, I mean he played in the playoffs. He knows the atmosphere is like. He's able to calm the team down and say, hey, we need to get back to basics, because they blew, what was that, a 29-point lead?
23-point lead.
23.
And lost by double digits.
You got to have a vet that's going to be on the floor to be the coach on the floor. I don't think that Mosley had that in Orlando. That's number one. Number two, if you're trying to build something and this team made the playoffs 3 out of his 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, and 3 out of his 5 years you go out in the first round, but you're still building with a young core, and you decide to get rid of that, and it's only maybe 1 to 3 people that you can bring in that can take you over the hump. But I'm going to tell you something. I said this in our chat. Chuck Daly's not walking through that door. Brian Hill is not walking through that door. Stan Van Gundy is not walking through that door. God, I hope Doc Rivers is not walking through that door. If you want to get to the next level, Mosley was your best option. Now you got to start over. These guys got to start over with a whole nother coach. I think this was a dumb firing. It was knee-jerk. And everybody wants everything right away. This right here was not a great firing. This was not a great move. I disagree with it. And if they don't hire the right guy, Orlando will be in the lottery for the next 3 years.
Well, Mr. KG, I appreciate your words there and your thoughts on this situation, sir. It's much obliged, and I do appreciate you conveying your thoughts that way. Now, I must tell you why you are absolutely wrong in this situation, sir. And it starts like this, man. Look, who was the most disappointing team in the NBA this season?
The Chicago Bulls.
No, the Orlando Magic. They were a 2 seed last year. They ended up in the play-in game. If you watch our NBA preview, the lowest we had done was maybe 4th or 5th. They were in the play-in game. You're up 3-1. You're up by 23. You lose. Now, the good thing for that man is this is what happened. They looked at his name. They saw it. The Mose in the front of his name. And then they put 2 and 2 together because somebody was reading their Bible at the time. And they said that Moses couldn't get his people to the promised land. And they said in Orlando that Mosley can't get us to the promised land. He can get us out of Egypt, which is playoff hell. Which is regular season hell. He got us out of that, but he couldn't get us to the promised land. So now they're going to bring somebody else in to get them to the promised land. This is the basketball formula. That's why, other reason why I don't understand why you're upset about this. There's always a coach that gets you through the hardships and gets it started. Then there's another coach that comes in, and he's supposed to be the person that takes you over and leads you to the promised land and leads you to the hopes and the dreams and the possibilities of championships. Mosley equals Moses. Magic equal Israelites stuck in the desert.
Well,
now, I should have saved this for Sunday Rise, but I didn't.
This would have been good. But can I interject here and just I just want to take a little bit of your time. And I like to go back to this statement. And I it's crazy because I hate that I have to go here, but it has to be said. When it comes to college sports, when it comes to NBA, when it comes to NFL, black coaches are not given the opportunity to fail. Look at. Go ahead.
No,
No. I was going to look at the track record. Now, I'm looking at I found his stats. 45 and 37 this year. They were 41 and 41 last year, won the Southeast Conference. Southeast Division the last 2 years prior. Right? They lost in the first round each of the last 3 years. They took the number 1 overall seed in the East and took them to 7 games. I think that should mean something. But it's something lacking. And I don't think it was coaching that's lacking.
They went like a whole, oh my gosh. The run that they had to go, that Detroit had to go on to get the lead was something crazy, like a 31-3 switch in the ball game. He can't stay. I can't win with him. I won't do it, and I can't do it.
All right, Mike Singletary.
But
I'm just saying, this is just one of them things that I don't agree. We're in a microwave society. I don't agree with getting rid of guys when they're trying to build.
But when you lose 3 first round appearances, you're telling me. If I ask you, tell me how to get to Sesame Street, and you got me over here with the Bernstein Bears, it ain't working. It can't work this way. I'm done with cartoon references. I promise. I think that's my last one. I don't know if it's the last one for the day, but that's my last one.
No. It shouldn't be. If I had to call it, I would say, the front office, y'all some job time turkeys.
Okay. That's the first one awarded.
Mm-hmm.
So the Orlando Magic front office, it's
some job time turkeys.
Okay.
So keeping with
we gotta pull that up so we can put that on the thing.
Most definitely. BJ saying I feel like Orlando needs more talent. I agree. I think their biggest signing over the summer was Desmond Bain.
They traded.
And he wound up getting hurt.
They traded 5 picks for Bain. He played well in the series, but I don't know what he did in Game 7, but their problem. Franz Wagner got hurt. That did take something away, but still, again, this team shouldn't have been playing 1. It just shouldn't have been. Okay. You're telling me when you lose 3 times in the first round, you're telling me you're not equipped to take me to the next level. You know what job he gonna get next? He gonna get like the Pelicans job or one of those jobs on that level, because they're gonna say, oh, he can build, but he can't put the roof on it. He can't get past this glass ceiling.
Okay. Sticking with the NBA playoffs. OG Anunoby diagnosed with a hamstring strain. So the doctor is in, taking the podcast hat off, putting my stethoscope around my neck, getting this set up. Now they saying he's day to day and he could come back. He probably missed tonight's game and come back in Game 3. Here's the thing. There's a difference between a tear, a strain, and a sprain. A tear is literal. You done rip the muscle. It's done. You done rip the ligament. You done rip the tendon, whatever. It's done. Right? A strain does not mean it's fully torn. It means some of the ligament, the muscle, what have you, tendon is partially torn. So you need rest so it can heal. That is a strain. A sprain, however, is swelling of the ligaments. So you ice that down 2 to 3 days, you're good. You can't play around with the strain. When you strain anything, worst thing you can do is say, you know what? I feel better. Let me go out there and get this done. And when you do that, that's when tears happen. I always go back to when Kevin Durant had the calf strain. It was I forget what game it was. He sat out. He was in the back and he had the ice, but it wasn't on his calf. It was right above his Achilles, right in between the Achilles and the calf. You know, his leg's skinny, but he was right in between the Achilles and the calf. And I was like, that's not a calf strain. That's more Achilles. Yeah, he don't need to come back. He need to rest. But management forced him back and pushed him to come back. He came back against Toronto in the finals. What happened? He ruptured his Achilles.
So let me ask you this, Doctor. The Jason Tatum's having issues with his calf. Do you think it was good for them to hold him out of Game 7 because it was probably a sprain, but it could have led to a torn Achilles again?
I think that was very smart because you don't want to go back down the same road you just were down a year ago with Halliburton. It was Halliburton, Tatum, somebody else. We had 3 ruptured Achilles in one playoff.
Right.
We don't want to deal with that anymore. So when you got a player with problems with the calves and you like, you know, we think it's a strain, set him out. It may be Game 7, but he can't play because you could win you could win the battle, but you're going to lose the war because you're going to lose him for another 6 to 9 months. Do you really want to hedge your future on losing him for 6 to 9 months? So you got to be smart. But also something that I learned from a great manager. You got to sometimes somebody has to save you from yourself.
All right.
So Draymond disses Barkley. I'm surprised you put this in there.
No, I got what I think happened, and I know you got what you think happened. So I want you to tell your side, and then I'm gonna tell my side, and then we're gonna get out of this and take a break and get to our coup de grace.
Okay. Well, last night on Inside the NBA, Draymond Green was on there, and Charles Barkley had mentioned I got the clip of it. I didn't see the whole thing. I got the clip, and Barkley was like, "Well, you guys are on the, you and Steph are on the backside of your career. You traded Clay. Your time is done. You don't win nothing at 37, 38 years old." So Draymond decides to quit back that, yeah, what you mean, like you in your Houston years? And Chuck didn't say much, but it's been going around social media all day, and everybody's pulling up Draymond's career average, which is 8.6 rebounds, I think 5 assists for a career, compared to Charles Barkley's time in Houston. Not his whole entire career, not Philadelphia, Phoenix, but just his time in Houston. And Barkley averaged, if I'm not mistaken, in his time in Houston, 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. And shot, like, I think it was 51% from the field or something like that, compared to Draymond's like 46. And my thing is, I'm like, for you to say that to try to take that shot at Chuck, you shooting blanks, bro. But again, Draymond's one of those guys that I've always said he overvalues his career. Is it a good career? Yes. Was he an all-time great? No. Same thing with Paul Pierce. Was he good? Yes. But I remember Paul Pierce before 2008. I think he made the playoffs once, maybe twice, before they formed the Big Three. But now all of a sudden, you're a better scorer than this person, this person, this person. No. That's not. You guys never. You couldn't carry Vitaly Potapenko to the playoffs. So don't talk to me about that. But I just think that Draymond was really off base with that, trying to clown Chuck. When the twilight of Chuck's career is better than your entire career. I can see the rest of my time to the Midnight Rider.
I think if this is any other NBA star, this is nothing. It's a nothing burger. It gets swept under the rug, because the way I took his comments, and I know everybody else is going to be like, "Oh, he's trying to diss Chuck. Now they kind of started with like a little bit of because he started the conversation like, here we go, because he knew Chuck was going to come at him with something. So he already knew something was up. But I think the problem that people don't get is he said, I don't want to look like Barkley in a Rockets uniform. That's what he said, right? I just want to make sure I'm clear. All right. Barkley's worn a Sixers jersey, a Suns jersey, and a Rockets jersey, right? In order, rank those, which Barkley jersey you like them in the most, from 1 to 3.
Phoenix, Houston, Philadelphia.
You are lying to yourself. You're too much of a historian to believe that.
You said what I like them in better. I didn't say what he was better.
Too much of a historian to think that the Sixers is after the Rockets.
Wait, you talking about when I liked them better? I thought you saying when I liked them better, not when he was better. And when you saying when he was better, it's Phoenix, Philadelphia, Houston.
Right.
But I love them in the Houston jersey because I like that number 4. I just like him and Olajuwon together and Trexler.
All right, you got outside factors. Here's why I'm saying it this way. It's because we've seen, was it O.J. Simpson in a 49ers uniform?
Yes.
We've seen Montana in a Kansas City uniform.
Yes.
We've seen Jerry Rice in a Seattle Seahawks and an Oakland Raiders jersey, right?
Yes, and a Denver Broncos jersey.
All right, we've seen Peyton Manning in the Broncos jersey. And I think what Draymond was really trying to say was he wants to be in one jersey and one jersey only. He doesn't want to be seen in the other jersey because the Golden State jersey and the Golden State time means more to him than trying to go somewhere else and chase. He doesn't want to go somewhere else and chase. If he wants it to end, he wants it to end in Golden State where it started. We don't have a lot of athletes that start their career in one building and end their career in that same building. And I think that's part of something he wants to do and wants part of his legacy. So that's why I think he said, I don't want to be like Barkley in a Houston jersey, because he don't want to be playing out the end of his career in a jersey that's not the jersey he came in as.
Okay.
That's why that's why we have conversations, and that's why we have differences of opinions. And there we go.
I got you.
Let's go break and get to the show.
Okay, because you got something else in here that I was wondering about.
Oh, what's that?
The KG versus MR?
That was just what you just did.
Okay, that was this. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. And when we come back, it'll be the coup de grace, the piece de resistance that you have came here for. Your top 5.
We're not even going to say top 5. We're going to just say iconic.
Oh, iconic sports shows. So, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
OG, we got another Saturday Night WrestleManiacs commercial during our show. Boy, I wasn't expecting that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Thursday Night Throwdown. As you can see, we got our man from Unapologetic Sports League, Ice, jumping in with us. I'm gonna pull this 1 second to the side of the screen because I want y'all to see what we talking about, ladies and gentlemen. We talking about iconic sports shows. Now, I did the floor model TV for my guy KG because this is as close as he's gonna get to one. Or me helping him get one. So there you go.
Time out. Hold on, wait. I got Lee Ice here with me. Hey, Lee Ice.
Yes, sir.
First of all, good evening.
Good evening.
Second of all, I got this idea. Like, I've been on Facebook Marketplace. I got this floor model TV. It's the exact replica of one I used to have. I just need help getting it up the steps. Midnight Rider Boss BJ won't help me. You got me, Lee Ice. I know you do.
Man, these old bones, man. I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying. Lee Ice coming off IR. He doesn't have
I'm old school, but when it comes to lifting them old ass TVs, I don't know, man.
TV heavier than everything else. You rather take the refrigerator down and take the TV down.
Boy.
Man,
that's crazy.
What's going on, fellas?
Not much, man. I'm ready to get into this list because I got some memories.
And so the idea behind this, we were talking, and the GOAT conversation kind of sparked this because I think, especially during our generation, we had a lot of shows that kind of helped shape us as sports fans. And I think as we got older, the shows came along with us. Some left us, but some new things came along. And then we adjusted to the times. And now there's even stuff out now. So what I wanted to do was pay homage to some of this stuff because everything impacts people differently. So I just want to get some ideas. So we can go round robin. We ain't got to go list style and just name a sports show and just go from there. And KG, you can start. Y'all can go 1, 2. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me get this right.
Got to get in his customary spot.
All right. So 1, 2, 3. And y'all just in with me and we good. But we each give a show. And if you got the same show, just say, I got that too on my list.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go with late teenage years, early adulthood, working for ESPN. This was great, but NHL tonight.
I didn't have you with that one. So go ahead. Go ahead, Lee Ice.
I'm going to go late 80s, definitely late 80s. And even though it's still on, to me, it still don't have that same. Remember when Sid was talking about Luther and his head didn't have the same.
Yeah, don't curl right.
It don't have that same curl no more. But back in the day, when Nick Bonaconte and Len Dawson inside the NFL.
I didn't think about that one, but I like that. That's a good one. I'll take Superstars. It used to come on as a part of yes, it used to come on as part of the wild world of sports, and you got to see athletes ride bikes, do dunk contests, run through the obstacle course. So that's I guess it would be my 1 seed, but that's my 1 seed.
All right. Now, I saved this one because I said I wanted to let everybody do a round before I did this one. But this one right here from, I think, 1991 until 2000. Every Saturday morning during the basketball season at 12 o'clock after TNBC. So that was after Saved by the Bell, Hang Time, and California Dreams. And if I watched Pro Stars and NBA inside stuff, my main man, Ahmad Rashad, started out with Willow Bay, and then Summer Sanders took over.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So hold on. So, just so you know, I have a side list with BJ with my prediction of your 3 shows that you're gonna pick. That's one. So you got 2 more left to give me to complete my list. All right.
Make sure when we done. I want to know what this list is. See if I get them all.
I'm gonna tell you as we go along.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lee Ice.
All right. I'm going to TV show, y'all. Late 70s. The White Shadow. I don't know if y'all familiar with that. The White Shadow with what was my man name? Ken Howard. Y'all never watched The White Shadow?
I've heard of it, but never watched it.
Oh, that's your homework, man. That's your homework. It's about a white high school coach goes in the inner city of LA and coaches a basketball team. Yeah,
Okay.
man. Y'all go watch that.
Where do I want to go next? I did in that. I'm gonna go the easy one. Sports Center. You can't tell me at any point in your life you didn't like. I know for me, especially in college, and in '95, I was waking up. ESPN was on my TV. We was watching Sports Center. That would start my morning. Like I got dressed to it, especially when I started working. Yeah, every morning it was like turn your TV on, get the cold out your eyes. Dan Patrick, Stuart Scott, all those guys was on my TV. So Sports Center is one of the most iconic shows I can think of.
It's funny you say that because Sports Center is one of the many reasons. If you had to put every reason why the network is here, Sports Center got to be one of those reasons because we got roots with ESPN. Myself, Sumo, BJ, Junie, Delonte, I believe Delonte worked. We all worked the ESPN zone at one time or another, sometimes together. So you watch Sports Center all day, every day. When you went home, you watched Sports Center, and we had to watch Sports Center as a part of our job. So you had to do the rundown and watch Sports Center so you knew what was going on that day. So that became a thing. And when I used to live in my own apartment as a bachelor, in the morning, my living room TV was on Sports Center. My bedroom TV was probably on cartoons. My living room TV was definitely on Sports Center. So yeah, that's one of mine too. My next one is probably on your list too. NFL Films. When they did the season review for any team and things like that.
Yeah. I'll take a half point for that. I got something else. But do you want to know what I have?
No, I think I know what you got because it's probably my next one.
All right, cool. Go ahead, Lee Ice.
Especially on Sunday mornings before the NFL start, this used to come on. I don't know if it still come on or not. I know I saw a little bit. Like I said, still don't have that same Luther curl. So the sports reporters, when they used to have Mike Lupica and Tony Kornheiser, all the good, sports writers from different newspapers.
Yeah. I used to hate Lupica with a passion, bruh. Ooh. Lupica was one of those people, but I tell you. I got one that's not mine. Came in from Chris Russell. He put up Jim Rome is Burning.
Yep, HBO.
I don't know how I'm gonna say this, but I'm just gonna go with the NFL draft as a sports show. You got Kuiper, it started with Kuiper, and I switched over to NFL Network, but I think the show as a whole is something that we schedule our days around the NFL, at least especially the first two rounds. Now round 3, when they got the Eskimo picking picks from his igloo and the horse jumping over the pick and all that, you can have the third day. But days 1 and 2, if you're a real fan, you watching day 1 and 2.
Now I'm gonna go local. Now this right here, this is a 2-parter, but I'm gonna go local. Redskins reporting full court press.
God damn it! I was like, when you started that prelude, I was like, I know where you're going. Sorry.
I mean, you had full court press. I always used to read Wilbon's column. I read Tony Kornheiser's column. I listened to Tony Kornheiser on the radio for years. When they started doing PTI, wasn't nothing better in the world because Tony Kornheiser actually used to do his show from the ESPN zone in DC for a little while. So when you work the morning shift, you never know who you're going to see. I met David Aldridge like that. That's how I got familiar with David Aldridge. Big fan of his. And Redskin Report with Sonny, Rigo, Sonny Rigo, George Michael. I think Wilbon was on that at times too. But full court press. You stayed up with everything, and they talked everything local. That right there was just, and they could argue all the way up until a break. Go into a break laughing and come back, and it's like they didn't argue at all. Beautiful, beautiful chemistry.
You mentioned George Michael, and I had the pleasure of interning for him on this show, the George Michael Sports Machine. Used to come on Sunday night, 11:30, Channel 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I didn't even bother writing it down because I knew somebody was going to say it. Like you just couldn't. You can't, because he covered everything.
everything.
He covered everything.
And he covered wrestling.
Yes, he did.
He covered wrestling, rodeo, whatever you could think of. If it was a sport, he was the Ocho before the Ocho.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? I thought that was just a local thing until I watched the movie There's Something About Mary. I found out that's not even a regional thing. That was a countrywide thing. Everybody watched Sports Center. People on the West Coast watch Sports Center. Sports Machine. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a syndicated show. I think they got it picked up. I think he did the first year of it, and then after that, since there wasn't much, you got to think about it, a lot of TV networks didn't have late night programming. You know what I'm saying? Remember, we lived in the age where TV had a bedtime.
Yeah.
TV used to go on.
Yeah, TV used to go off and you get the blocks on your screen, and that was it. That's all the TV you're gonna get. So for sure.
What's that famous song? I watched television till television went off.
Yeah, that's Who's next? Is it me?
Yep, it's on you.
Oh, well, we gotta go one place. We staying on ESPN. And it comes with a lot of nicknames. Natron means business. Andre Bad Moon Rising. NFL prime time.
Yes, sir.
Prime time.
Yes, sir. Berman and Tom Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Classic, man. I don't care what you say. Sunday, if you went to the game, you came home, you made sure you saw that. If you was at home watching games, you made sure you watched it. It was the best thing, man. I even had one day I was getting up, and I don't know who it was on YouTube, but somebody put up it was highlights from the Redskins versus I want to say the Saints, and it was that play where I forgot who the DB was, but he intercepts the pass, and then Robert Meacham comes up and takes it from him, turns around and takes the fumble for a touchdown. It was that game. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I do.
Yeah. I just can't remember who the person was that intercepted the football.
Well, I think it was Kareem Moore, 41.
That's exactly what it was.
Now, this one right here. I still watch this to this day. It's one of my go-tos. I watch them all in order. I've seen every episode at least 10 times. America's Game. When NFL Network did that, they came out with America's Game. They hit it on the head, and they knocked everybody senseless, because that was just it's like the most beautiful thing, and they're still producing episodes every year. But that right there, to get all the old players to come and talk about the Super Bowl seasons, and you get to see that. Then you got the missing rings. Oh, absolutely wonderful, man. Absolutely.
Man, that is a perfect segue to what I'm about to talk about. But I'm going to admit that I don't watch the new ones as much as I go back and watch the old ones. The Super Bowls with John Facenda narrating. And the music. Just thinking about it gave me chills, man. His last one was our Super Bowl that we lost, Super Bowl 18, when the Raiders beat the Redskins. I think that was his last one. But just to, when they recapped the whole Super Bowl for, 30 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had the famous line in that one, Marcus Allen runs into the night. So
I think it's my go. You know what? Let's stay in the theme. because mine is the season in review, where no matter what the team could be 3-13 that season,
and they're gonna have some good.
You left that season review feeling like they was gonna be 14-2 the next year. They will hook your team up, boy.
You watched that? We went 3-13 in '94, but I was hyped for '95. Just watching the pre. I was hyped, man. I was like, oh man, I didn't know we was that damn good.
Exactly. It was just a couple mistakes here and there. Yo, that is you ain't got to stick to your top 5. You can just keep going and name stuff. If something pops in your head.
That's what I'm doing. As it's coming in, I'm writing them down.
Yeah,
NBA
me too.
Open Court.
Ooh.
NBA Open Court on NBA TV had to be. That's when you had Ernie, Chuck, Shaq,
Steve
Kerr, Chris Webber, Reggie Miller. You had a whole panel, and they would take topics and go. And I remember Isaiah Thomas was on there, and they put him on the psychiatrist couch because he was like, I got understand Magic Johnson don't want to play with me. I got understand that Michael Jordan don't want to play with me, but Scottie Pippen, really? Yeah. But that right there, that's the older versions where you had Ernie being your host and everybody else, and you had most of the TNT crew, and then at that time I think Webber was a part of the TNT crew. But he
does Webber does games from time to time. He's not in heavy rotation anymore like he used to. I think the one I love of that is when they were talking about like signature moves, and Isaiah brought up your boy Colston.
The stinky leg.
Yeah, he brought that up.
Leg. Steve Colston.
Yeah, cricket leg. Yeah. Steve Colston.
I've seen way too many games with Steve Colston in a number 20 jersey in my lifetime in person. Because that's when we had the home team sports hookup. And the guy would call us and be like, hey, we got 2 tickets at the will call for you.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Childhood was good, man.
Real good. No, that episode though, that was the joint with Dominique was like, he's like, I didn't have no move. He said my move was just to go like this and then go by you. And I'm not even gonna lie. I saw that and I was like, all right, went to the gym that Saturday. And I was coming down the fast break. And I tried to go by man, dude gone the other way. I was like, oh damn it, Dominique, it didn't work.
Oh man, that's a whole nother show.
You had to be pigeon toe. You pigeon toe?
No.
Yeah, you gotta be pigeon toe like Dominique. All right, I'm gonna go real old school. This is my childhood growing up. You watch a Redskin game. If they win, the next night you wonder who was gonna be on Redskin sidelines.
That's what I couldn't think of the name of it. That was the Glenn Brenner.
Brenner. Yeah, Sonny Jurgensen. And they had guests. And they had a crowd. They did it live in front of a crowd. Yeah.
Yo,
I think the last year might have been the year they won the Super Bowl because Glenn Brenner had passed away right before the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Redskins side.
That was the height because I think you still actually had 9 with its show, and I think 4 had its own show at the same time with George and somebody. I forgot who George was doing it with, or maybe that was after Glenn died, and then Sonny came over to 4, and that's when they started doing wrestling.
Yeah.
This is just a personal staple of mine. I record this show every day once baseball season starts. It's MLB Central. It's comes on at 10. My favorite person on the show is Mark DeRosa. It's got the dude Flores that used to be on ESPN. God, I can't think of the young lady's name that's on the show. And every now and then they'll bring in guests. Like they'll bring in players from different teams. Literally, I watch that like right now. Once we get off of this, like probably sometime like 11 or one of my breaks in the middle of the night, I'm gonna throw it on and I'm gonna watch it. And that's just what I watch during the evenings, man. It's one of my favorite shows.
I'm gonna stick with the MLB thing. MLB Tonight on ESPN with Tim Kurkjian.
Yeah,
That was one of my go-tos. That's been it was one of my go-tos since about 2000. I watched that faithfully. But when the Yankees don't win, baseball ain't fun no more.
I'm gonna keep it MLB. Growing up, I didn't know baseball like I know football and basketball, but I would watch this every Saturday. I can't think of the guy's name, but just to hear him talk about what happened in baseball for the week, and to hear the music, music they used to play at the end of it. This week in baseball.
Yes, sir.
And then they show the highlights, and they show I think Ozzie Smith. What was that guy's name, man?
I was waiting. I was waiting to see if anybody's going to say it.
Yeah. Whatever that music was, matched it with the highlights. It was perfect time.
All right, so Bossman just sent me his list. He's got 3. He's got, and I know everybody's going to react when I say this one. Inside the NBA. He's got Around the Horn. And he's got the Pat McAfee Show.
Trying to get into it.
No, it's changed. It's changed. I mean, it's the only show on ESPN where they get allowed to cuss.
That says a lot.
That says, yeah, it really still.
Well, this is what I have on my list for KG. So I'm gonna steal this one. I'm really surprised this one hasn't come up yet. Pardon the interruption.
That was next. PTI was next.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, then you want me to go again because I stole yours?
But I mean, you can go ahead.
Football Life.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Football Life.
See, I couldn't put the football life on my list.
What?
True story. It's a good reason. I was watching the Football Life every time. It's only 2 that really got me. The Walter Payton one. And Sean Taylor. Because after Walter Payton, I sat in the living room. After Sean Taylor, I was living with my mom. I got up out of the living room and I went in the room and I laid on my mom's bed and I boo-hoo cried for 30 minutes. No, I'm talking snotting. Boo-hoo cry. I was done. And I haven't watched Football Life since. I can't do it. Because every time they show that, I'm inclined to watch it, but I'm like, I can't go down that road again. I can't live it. I can't do it again.
You ain't see the Dexter Manley one? Oh, man.
I might have to go back and check it, but look, I'm going to need a box of Kleenex or something else. I'm very emotional with these stories.
Those get emotional, man. You right about that. The Dexter Manley one, the Doug Williams one. Yeah. You might need a couple Kleenexes.
Go ahead.
You mentioned Football Life. Now they just made me think 30 for 30. That's been going on since 2009.
Yep.
You know, and you mentioned the sad one. I think it was maybe the second or third one, the Len Bias one. Life without bias. Mm-hmm. Man.
And what's crazy, I bought, it's 2 of my favorites. Without Bias and The Band That Wouldn't Die. About the Baltimore Colts band. Yeah, those are 2 of my favorites. Like I'll put that on, and my wife like, you watching this again? Yeah. Now, mind you, when the Colts left Baltimore, I was 2. Ooh. But growing up, I had to learn Baltimore Colt history alongside Redskin history. So I had to learn everything about the Baltimore Colts, which is why I have such a love for Johnny Unitas, because it was drilled into me by my cousins. Hey, no, you need to know who this is. You need to know who Earl Morrill is. You need to know who Lenny Moore is. You need to know all of this. Because if you're gonna be a Redskin fan, you need to know what was running concurrently while they were here. And I went, and I'll put that on, man. I get sad watching that. You know, if I'm in the doldrums, I'm like, hell, I'm already down here. Let's go ahead and stick around. Let's watch the band that wouldn't die. But to see a city, and spending as much time in Baltimore as I do, see a city that lost their team, and then when they got a team back that they loved just as much, it's a wonderful thing, man. And it's when it's a great product, it's even better. So
KG, just so you know, this was your list. I sent it to BJ on purpose. I didn't put it in Junkies Talk because I didn't want to I didn't want to lead the witness. I said 3 of KG's iconic sports shows: NBA Inside Stuff, PTI, Football Life. So I was 2 for 3.
Yeah.
I didn't know Football Life made you cry like that, bro.
Yeah. I like whenever they got a new episode, I always peek in on it. But I'm like, I can't do it. And I love, that's the crazy thing. I love NFL Network. Because if you guys remember, NFL Network used to give you the all 22 for free. That was like a special thing that they would do during football season. I mean, I used to watch the all 22s for the Redskins all the time. And I would sit there and I would go through all that film, and just so I'd be able, and we wasn't even doing a podcast at the time. I would do that just so I could be able to tell people, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. I watched the film.
All right. I think this is the name of it. But when I say the name of the host, you'll know what I'm talking about. I think the name of the show was Up Close, and it had Roy Firestone.
Yeah.
I think that's next because I think that was the one, and of course, it's infamously mentioned in Jerry Maguire, where he's like, "You're not gonna make me cry like everybody else."
I'm cry, Jerry. I'm not gonna cry. Yeah, Roy Fives. Yeah, that came on, I think, 5:30.
Yep.
Either 5 or 5:30. Yeah. That came on before PTI came on. I think.
Right.
I think that's when it went off. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was there. Then whatever happened, and then PTI replaced it.
Yeah. Man, what happened to Roy Firestone?
No clue.
Man.
KG, you got anything else?
Running down like everything on my list we done got to. I got the MLB. Oh, Football Follies.
Yes.
Football Follies.
Man, what happened to the Follies?
They
remember they used to do they used to do the 1-800 number. You could buy them on VHS tape.
Yep.
And you get a free something. You get a free helmet phone or something if you order it in the next 30 minutes. Like,
yeah.
we don't.
I ordered the NFL's hits. Remember they had a hit collection?
Yes. Yep. Yes.
I had that. I got that somewhere.
When I tell people, and I tell this younger generation, say, man, y'all think y'all got it good with these handheld phone devices, and no, we used to live like kings and queens. We were a proper society. You could dial a 1-800 number, give your credit card online, or send in a money order, or proof of purchase, and get this stuff in the mail in 6 to 12 weeks, and enjoy it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, y'all. You know I'm gonna keep it old school. HBO used to have this joint, man. I don't know why they stopped doing it. A boxing joint called Legendary Nights. When they would go back, and they would go back on old fights, man.
Whew, man.
Yeah. Legendary Nights.
Classic used to show that too. Damn. Legendary Nights.
I'm gonna need y'all help on this one because I forget what it's called. But when I start giving you the details, y'all both going to be like, "Oh yeah." So I know it was HBO. They used to do the build up to the fights, and they follow the guys during their training camps.
Yeah. Damn.
I don't know. Was it Showtime or HBO?
It was Showtime, I think. It was whoever fought. It was whoever was fighting, but it was something after that.
Right. It was always that. God, I can't think of the name of it. And the only reason I thought about it because it just popped up in my head when you said the other thing. Auction show. Let's see if it's on Showtime.
I want to say it was 24/7.
That's exactly what it was.
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is.
That was on HBO, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take this to 120 and then get out?
We can do that. Because I mean, we ain't got no wrap it up. The wrap it up is basically here's your wrap it up. We coming back on Saturday after Backlash with the WrestleMania. Be back on Sunday. We'll talk some NCAA basketball and playoff updates.
Slow down. We got a couple minutes, so we can do another round before you get to that part.
Look, I was gonna throw it out there so we can just keep going. Cause y'all don't understand. I've been in my fields all day, and I've been in nostalgia all day. This is keeping me there. I'm loving this. What do I got? It was on ESPN Classic. God, what's the name of it? Damn it, I can't think of it. It was a show on ESPN Classic, but they took whoever the subject was, and it was pretty much like Football Life, but it's for everybody.
Sports Century.
That's what it was. My goodness. One of the best ones that I saw was Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm a huge Sugar Ray Robinson fan. I've been a Sugar Ray Robinson fan since I was about 10 years old.
Yeah.
And
that was one of the best ones. Right.
And like that right there. I remember I think I was sick one weekend and that came on. And I recorded and I just kept watching it over and over and it made me feel better. So I'm always, Sports Century is always a good one.
Sports Century, yeah. Now, before Sports Center and ESPN, we used to go home around 6:15, 6:30. You watch Channel 4, 6:45. Watch your local sports news, whether it was George Michael, Glenn Brenner, Warner Wolf, Tim Brandt. You know, Sports Center killed all of that, man. I couldn't even name one local sportscaster right now. But growing up, the Glenn Brenner and George Michael, man, come on, man.
Rennie Knott.
Knott.
What was my Wally Bruckner on Channel 5?
Yep.
Of course, you had Steve Buckhands too. Don't forget Buck. Got it. Steve Buckhands is he was at night. Wally Bruckner was on the weekend. Then Gus Johnson was the weekend dude from like 91 to 93 on Channel 5.
Yep. Channel 5.
If it's on me, there's a show that was for my formative years of baseball. It's called The Baseball Bunch, featuring I think Johnny Bench. Every now and then they'd have different players on. Tommy Lasorda was like the like they had this thing. It was like kind of like a fairy tale thing where they had a mirror, and Tommy Lasorda would come up in the mirror with the smoke around him, and he would give like different little tips. So the Baseball Bunch is the reason I used to make my dad buy me tennis balls, because I knew I couldn't use a real baseball, and I'd take a tennis ball and bounce it off my steps so I could work on my fielding, because I didn't have like a ball in a concrete spot. So I used my steps and my sidewalk. So that's how I used to field baseballs when I was younger, man.
I remember that, man. I definitely remember Johnny Bench.
Yep.
And Tommy Lasorda.
Well, I don't know if this one counts in the same vein. Jesus, I just had and I lost it.
I got
go ahead,
one for you.
It'll come back to me.
Go ahead, Leis.
Oh, shoot, Wild World of Sports, man, on Saturday. We used to watch boxing for free.
Mm-hmm.
you know the what is it? The thrill of victory. And the agony of defeat. And you see the guy on the ski just falling off. And then at the end, Muhammad Ali going like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go ahead, Midnight Rider.
No.
I was gonna say I don't know if this counts, but the NFL QB challenge.
Ooh, that used to be my shit. I
wish they would bring it back. I've been saying it for years. If you bring that back, yeah, but I mean the actual joint with that they used to do where you actually in Hawaii somewhere sunny and not indoors.
Right.
And they got their jerseys on.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you got the golf carts, and then you got the long toss, all that stuff. I got you. I'm gonna take this because it's two shows. And they both in the wrestling world. But I think WWE Raw and WCW Nitro are two iconic shows that throughout the course of a decade, they battled for supremacy. So I think that's definitely something that we got to put on this list.
Which one did y'all watch? I
watched both.
You turned back and forth?
Whenever the commercial break hit, I was going to the other one. And unless I knew something was coming up.
Can we agree that was when wrestling was at its best, when they was going back with the battle between Raw and Nitro?
Yeah, and if you gave me the promise of Jericho versus Eddie Guerrero, or Juventud versus Eddie Guerrero, or Juventud versus Chris Jericho, I wasn't turning. I'm not turning the TV. Those were my boys. I love me some Jericho.
Oh no, Nitro. I think Nitro won the battle.
And they won the battle, but they didn't win the war.
Didn't win the war, man. But that's the little thing with the NWO coming to take over. Yes. That's the best thing to ever happen. That's the best thing to ever happen to wrestling to me. Besides,
no, you know what I'm gonna call it? Because you hear, I think it's the Steph Curry of wrestling. It's the best thing that happened, but it ruined wrestling at the same time. Because at a certain point, everybody got into the NWO, and it was like, well, who are you gonna fight? Like it was so many people in the NWO that they had to break it off into the Wolf Pack. And,
they got stupid after that. Yeah.
And that's when they got messed up.
Yep.
And the only good guy was Sting, and everybody else was in the NWO. And either the red and black or the white and black. So,
man, I took us back.
Yeah.
Can I get one more in? This is gonna be my wrap it up. The one show I gotta give love to. And y'all gonna be like, yeah. Back in the day, CBS, Brett Musburger, Irv Cross, Jimmy the Greek, Jane Kennedy, Georgia, whatever her name was, that football pregame show was a pregame show of pregame shows.
Yep.
I'll give you that.
I never figured that.
Nothing gets better because you just turn in at 12:30.
Yo,
you went to 12 after that, but you are looking live. That's it.
You're looking live. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I'll never forget, because whenever the Redskins played Dallas, they used to have a brunch at one of my aunt's house, and they go to the game, and you could stay and watch the game until everybody came back, because everything was centralized for us when it came to football season. So it was one or two houses. We was going to either, and this is memories. We was either going to my Aunt Orgy's house for the Dallas brunch, or we was going to my uncle's house, because everybody met up at my uncle's house, and they get in the van because you're only paying for one car to get in. So everybody pop in the van at his house. So Saturday mornings used to be, my dad would go pick up my Uncle Robbie because he didn't drive. He was not my uncle. Technically, he was my godfather, but so we go to Silver Spring, pick him up, come back. They go to my aunt's house because that's where, like, it was like, think of like the ticket broker back in the day. So everybody that had tickets in that little group, it was about 20 of them. So they would call in like, "Hey, we need somebody. We don't have anybody to go to this game." So they put the ticket in the group, and they go through the list of who was next up. I quickly moved up the list to get like next. But it was just like they had the schedule. So we used to come out. It was funny because NFL has the schedule show, but like they would have a schedule and they would send it. I forgot how they sent it out. I think they gave it out at the first game. So it was like who's responsible for the tailgates each week of the home games. So you got like assigned a partner, and that that was good times, man. And it was like two vans. We had Mike with his van and this guy, Chu Green, who was a Giants fan, but he liked to go to the games. He was the other person that drove a van. So we used those two vans and pack everybody up, go over to RFK, and we all managed to park in the same section. I'm sorry, I'm going down memory lane like a mug, man. My bad, dog.
That's been a theme for the day, man. This is working out. That's the theme for the day.
Back down memory lane. Yes, sir.
See, Lee Ice already fit in with us because he know you can throw songs in on this show.
but I want y'all to go on YouTube and get a chance and watch The White Shadow.
I think I've seen it. Now that after you mentioned it, but it doesn't stick out to me. But I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try to take a look at it.
The White Shadow. Tell me. Right. I mean, they wearing the tight shorts. So and you know, you got to remember this is 70s. So, but the show was great, man. That was besides the home teams, sports team. That was the team I rooted for. Carver High. Yeah, that was the name. That was the name of the high school, Carver High.
Hey, last but not least, let's also, since we're talking about TV shows, Friday Night Lights get some love too.
Clear Eyes, Full Hearts, Can't Lose. I did the first 2 seasons, so I got a little too drama filled out in season 3.
All right, man, get us out of here, man.
Well, quickly, Saturday we got the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs are doing a react show for Backlash.
Really? Wait, really? The Saturday Night WrestleManiacs coming on Saturday? What?
Yeah, you didn't know?
I didn't know.
That's the last time I showed a commercial. I don't know if I did.
Okay, that works.
Sunday we'll be back with the Sunday Rise, and we'll talk some more NCAA basketball and them expanding the field from 68 to 76. So we'll definitely talk about that and, you know, get you back caught up.
Man. They ruin it. Too many damn teams.
Say it again.
Too many damn teams, man.
I gave a reason for that. But yeah.
So before we go, Lee Ice, tell them what they see yet.
Each and every Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Gotta tune into the Sideline Junkie Podcast Network to see your boy and my guy, the fly guy, Flying Brian, Unapologetic Sports. You never know. You never know what you're going to get on that show, but I guarantee you're going to be entertained. You're going to leave that show like, damn. Unapologetic Sports.
What's your best segment, man?
Oh, yeah. Come on, man. The fly guy like to fly high with his segment, you know, who's flying high in the sports. And me, don't get in my damn freezer, the deep freezer, Lee Ice freezer. That's something you don't want to get in. You don't want to get in. Ask Doc Rivers. That man been in that joint for how long you been in there, Midnight Rider?
He was been there before you had a show.
Look, he probably freezer burnt some more. Leave him there because
probably the only Hall of Famer that's in the freezer. Still don't get that one.
Not even a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Lee Ice. That's the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy, KG. We did it. This show was needed. So thank you to both of you gentlemen for making this what it is, man. It like y'all just right on theme, right on time, man. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So until next time, we are out of here.